From the studios of Boise State Public Radio News, I'm Samantha Wright filling in for Gemma Gaudette, and this is Idaho Matters. Okay, you just heard a very live concert in our studios here at Boise State Public Radio News. A fantastically live concert. And the reason that we're hearing that is because seniors and others who are living in care homes can often find it hard to get out and see or hear a live concert. And music, as we know, can be a form of medicine. It can bring people together, spark memories of the past. And these two ideas are combined in the nonprofit group Idaho Concerts in Care, which works to bring live professional concerts, just like we heard, to people who can't always get out to see them. And we wanted to know more, so we invited Karen Mann-Kennedy, the head of Idaho Concerts in Care, to join us, along with Jeffrey Hill on the violin and Kevin Mateague on the cello. Thanks, everybody, for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Kevin and Jeffrey, grab the microphones, pull them up to your face like ice cream cone. Karen, where'd you get the idea to do this? How did Idaho Concerts in Care come together?
Well, I immigrated from British Columbia in 2019, and before that, I sang many concerts with my a cappella trio, Callisto Trio, in care homes. This model has been in Canada since 2006 and now started in British Columbia and is now across the country. And they provided thousands of concerts across the country. And so when I immigrated here, I wanted to be of service somehow. And I was like, how can I be of service to our community? And then I just thought, wow, is anybody doing this in the Treasure Valley? And I found out that nobody really was doing this program. Certainly people play for care homes, but I wanted to bring together the professional arts community to employ musicians in their field and my other passion, which is older folks. And I wanted to bring those two together. So that's where I got the idea.
How long have you been giving concerts in Idaho, and how many have you done so far?
Well, we got started in 2021 with a donor box campaign because we were waiting for our nonprofit status, which we received in 2022. And since then, we've done 64 concerts in 23 care homes, and our audience has been collectively about 1,500 residents.
Wow, where do you go?
Well, we go to care homes all across the Treasure Valley. Some are specifically funded by the Boise Arts and History Department. So we do care homes in Boise. We've had other grants for communities outside of Boise, like Garden City. We've been to Eagle. We got an Eagle Arts Advisory Committee grant to do 12 concerts in Eagle. We've been out to Caldwell. And we've now started to go into Meridian, we've been in Meridian, to Nampa. We're doing our first concert in Nampa next month. So,
wow, okay.
Yeah, our goal is to get everywhere in Idaho, everywhere there's people who need to hear live music.
Wow. Okay, Jeffrey, as near as I can tell, and correct me if I'm wrong, you do it all. You're the principal second violin of the Boise Philharmonic, an associate concertmaster of the Boise Baroque Orchestra, a regular member of Opera Idaho Orchestra, a founding member of 208 Ensemble, and you're part of Pendulum Early Music. I'm sure I forgot something.
No, that's all right. That's kind of what it can look like to be a professional musician in Boise, is that you're bringing lots of different things together to kind of create, to cobble together a career for yourself. So, yeah, I'm sure, I know there are more than that, and probably some I can't even think of right now. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you for that introduction.
You're welcome. And Jeffrey, how much fun is it to do these concerts?
I find it so rewarding every time that we do one of these. I've been doing these concerts for Idaho Concerts in Care for I think this is my fourth year doing them, and it's always so incredible to go play these in a place where you know that unfortunately the residents of these care homes are not getting a lot in the way of culture and entertainment where they are, and so that's why what Karen is doing is so important. It's so rewarding to, after one of these concerts, talk to the residents and find out that, this person played violin or flute or cello or something earlier on in life, and that this concert, which may have been the first thing like that they've heard in years, sparked older memories and sparked sort of this feeling of joy that they used to get from performing music on their own. So that's the fun part of it for me, being able to connect with these people who are using music as a means of like just experiencing joy, connecting to their past, that sort of thing.
Wow. Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I remember you were playing Baroque and early classical cello music last year in Boise. You're part of Pendulum Early Music. It's Idaho's first ensemble dedicated to Baroque and early classical era chamber music on period instruments. How did I do?
You did great.
How long have you been doing concerts in Care?
So, well, we've done one concerts in Care with at which home was that?
Morning Star.
Morning Star. We brought Julianne Dresky out, who's a well-known Baroque violinist. She's the artistic director of the Atlanta Baroque Orchestra, and we had her here in Boise in January to do a program with us, and her parents happen to live there. She's from Boise native, and so it was quite a treat for her and for her family to hear us play there, and it was a really great experience.
Karen, one of the reasons I listed both of these fine gentlemen's extensive backgrounds in professional music is because these are professionals. You are bringing professional musicians in to do these concerts. Why is that so important?
Well, first of all, there are a lot of people volunteering or getting paid to do these concerts, and I really am thankful to them for doing this kind of work. I feel like when professionals go in, there's a level of artistry that is really beautiful. And I feel like also people come to these concerts and they can relax into the music because they know that what they're hearing is going to make them feel good. And they know that there's a level of competence and skill that goes into these concerts, and I think that really helps them to enjoy them.
I'm going to play a caprice by a composer named Dalabaco.
Karen, talk about how people respond to these concerts when you go and put these together. What are people telling you?
Well, I'm sure Jeff can attest to this, but I've seen people really light up. During the music, after the music, people say things like, I just haven't heard that before, or I haven't heard that music since I went to the Philharmonic, or they hear some familiar tunes and they say, oh, wow, I haven't really heard that since I was a kid or something. So it's music that will help them connect with themselves. One particular thing comes to mind. Jeff was actually playing this concert. There was a gentleman who later found out had dementia, but I noticed that someone was humming through the concert, and where's that coming from? And it was the man in front of me, and he hummed his way through Vivaldi, Mozart, some Gershwin, and he was right on pitch. And I thought, this is very exciting, because I'm always looking for things to express to people who haven't been to the concerts about exactly what this means to people. And as it turns out, he does have dementia, and his wife said that he was a bagpipe player most of his life, and which is very exciting for me because I love the bagpipes. But he could only manage the chanter because playing the bagpipes with the bellows is very physically demanding, and he couldn't manage it. But what I was really struck by was how there are parts of his brain that could allow him to sing in tune and enjoy the music despite other limitations that he had. And there was one other time when you were playing Vivaldi Winter at the end of a concert, I believe, and it felt so raw to me. And it was like, this is the winter storm. And it's exactly what it's supposed to be. And everyone erupted in applause, and I got all teary. It was just a really beautiful moment. I encourage people to get in touch with me if you want to come and attend a concert, because it's hard sometimes to describe it, but you definitely get a feeling of an exchange of energy with the audience, with the musicians, with the audience, together during the music, after the music. So come and get in touch with me, and I encourage everyone to just come out to a concert and see for yourselves what a difference this music is making for people.
And you're having a fundraiser. It's coming up at St. Michael's Cathedral Sunday?
8 days. Yes, we're having our very first spring concert fundraiser at St. Michael's, generously sponsored by St. Michael's. It's at 2:00, and it will feature Pendulum Early Music, Tree City Chamber Players, and Third Space String Quartet.
And just a quick plug, Pendulum is also having a concert coming up on May 3rd. Tell me about that real quick.
Sure. This is going to be the last concert of our first season together as an ensemble. And so Pendulum, the early music in our name refers roughly to music between 1600 and 1750. And so this concert is all about the end of that period. So if you're at all familiar with music history, about the Baroque era and the classical era. So all of the music on this concert on May 3rd will be kind of exploring that transition. How did the Baroque become the classical? So that will be May 3rd, 7:30 at St. Michael's Cathedral as well.
That's awesome. Karen, you mentioned people can get in touch whether they want to come see a concert. I'm guessing musicians can also get involved. Is the best way to do it through your website?
Sure. Yeah. Or give me a call. My contact details are on the website.
That is awesome. Okay, so as I am reading a little outro here, we're going to hear a little more music. Another Concerts in Care concert just for us. We've been speaking with Karen Mann Kennedy, the head of Idaho Concerts in Care, along with Jeffrey Hill on the violin, Kevin Mateague on the cello. We're going to put links to all the concerts we talked about and ways to help with more information on our website, boisestatepublicradio.org. Jeffrey and Kevin, you want to take us away?
And that'll do it for this episode of Idaho Matters. Thanks so much for listening. And just a reminder, you can find all of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts.